If you've been running your business for more than 2 years and you're still signing your name on every single loan, putting your personal credit, your home, your family security on the line every time you need capital, I need to tell you something today. The banks are praying you never find out what I'm about to show you. I've sat with entrepreneurs, solid guys and girls, been in business 5, 10, 15 years who had no idea that a completely separate credit profile existed for their business, not tied to their social security number, not touching their personal score, not their name on the line. They were operating a corporation but borrowing like a consumer. That's not their fault. That's the system's design. In the next 12 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly how business credit works as a separate financial identity, what it takes to qualify, how banks exploit your ignorance of it, and the exact steps to get your EIN standing on its own. No personal guarantee, no SSN attached, your business funded as a business. But here's what's wild. I'm going to show you later in this video that even entrepreneurs who know about this loophole still can't access it, and it's got nothing to do with their credit score. Stick with me because that's the part that they really don't want you to understand. Now do me a favor before we get further, like this video, subscribe, hit that bell so you know every time we upload great content just like this. Now, here's the situation most of you are in right now. You went and got your LLC. Maybe you even have an S Corp or C Corp. You got the EIN from the IRS, opened a business bank account. You did the right things, but the moment you walked into a bank and said, I need funding, they pulled your credit, your social security number, your personal history, and you sign that personal guarantee without even questioning it because that's just how it works, right? That's what they want you to believe. Here's the real story, and I need you to sit with this for a second. There are two credit systems in this country. One was built for consumers, the other was built for businesses. And the business credit system runs completely parallel, separate bureaus, separate scoring, separate rules. Most entrepreneurs spend their entire career in the consumer system, borrowing personally to fund a business, tying their family's safety to their company's risk. That's not entrepreneurship. That's a trap dressed up like opportunity. Let me show you how it works. So first, let's establish what we're actually talking about. When most people hear credit, they think FICO, Vantage 4.0, the number that shows up on their Credit Karma app or their Credit Sesame. That number is attached to their social security number. It follows them as a person. But business credit is completely different. Completely different. There are three major business credit bureaus: Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business. They don't care what your personal FICO is. They don't ask for your SSN. They are tracking your business as its own financial entity. Think of it this way. You have a twin, same last name, same city, but their financial history has nothing to do with yours. That twin is your LLC or your corporation. They can build their own credit and borrow on their own name. The number that matters in that world is called a Paydex score. Dun & Bradstreet runs it. It goes from 0 to 100. An 80 or above is the equivalent of excellent business credit. That score is built by how your business pays its vendors, suppliers, or creditors on time, early, or late. Now here's where the EIN becomes the key. Your employer identification number, your EIN, that is your business's social security number. When a business credit profile is built correctly, funding decisions are made based on that EIN, not your SSN, not your personal history. That means if your business has the right structure, the right trade lines, the right payment history, a lender can approve your business for capital without ever touching your personal credit file. That's called a no personal guarantee loan. And most entrepreneurs have no idea they exist, let alone that they might already qualify. Now let me be specific about what qualifying actually means, because banks aren't going to hand you a checklist. To access no PG funding, your business generally needs to show at least 2 years in business under the same EIN. Consistent revenue. Most lenders want to see a minimum of $100,000 annually, though some go lower. 5 or more trade lines reporting to the business bureaus. Those are vendor accounts, credit cards in the business name, things that prove the EIN has a payment history, and then a Paydex score of 80 or higher on the D&B side. Clean business bank statements, 90 days minimum, ideally 6 months. Here's what I want you to notice. Most of you watching this video, you probably hit several of those, maybe all of them, but you've been borrowing personally anyway. That's not an accident. Let me tell you why the banks don't explain this to you. It's not an oversight, it's a design. When you sign a personal guarantee, when you put your name on that business loan, the bank gains something incredibly valuable. They gain access to your personal assets as collateral, your home, your savings, your personal credit file. If your business defaults, and businesses defaults all the time, especially in tough economic cycles, they don't just lose the loan. They come after you personally. That is dramatically more profitable for the bank than a straight business loan. Think about it this way. Imagine you're a casino. Would you rather a gambler bet with chips that have no real value to him, or would you rather he bet with money he borrowed against his house? That's the bank. And you've been the second gambler. Here's the real scenario I've seen play out dozens of times. A client, let's call him Marcus, been running a logistics company for 6 years. Profitable, clean books, 3 trucks, employees. He needs just $85,000 to expand his fleet. He walked into his bank, a bank he had accounts with for 4 years, and they pulled his personal credit. His score has taken a hit the year before when he used a personal card to cover a slow quarter. So they denied him. When Marcus didn't know, and what he couldn't know, was that what his banker didn't tell him was that his business had a Paydex score of 78. He had 4 trade lines reporting. He was 1 trade line and 2 Paydex points away from qualifying for a business-only loan. No PG required. His banker never mentioned it. His banker had no incentive to. So Marcus went home feeling like a failure, when in reality he was standing 1 foot from the door and didn't know to knock. Now, before I show you exactly how to fix what Marcus had, if you're watching this and you're saying, Dwayne, this sounds exactly like what I'm dealing with, well, the link in the description is how to work on this with me in my CBL Wealth Blueprint program. You see, the credit layer is the entry point, but we fix all 3. Now, here's what Marcus did next and what the path actually looks like. But here's the thing that nobody wants to tell you, and this is the part I promised you at the top, the piece that even people who know about business credit still get wrong. I've worked with entrepreneurs who learned everything I showed you. They understood the Paydex score. They knew the difference between D&B and Experian Business. They had their EIN properly set up, and they still couldn't pull the trigger. They still defaulted to their personal credit, still signed the personal guarantee when the banker slid it across the desk. You want to know why? Because they had the strategy, but they didn't have challenged the ability to carry the identity underneath it. Let me explain what I mean. Most of us who've been in business for 10, 15, 20 years, we build our businesses as an extension of ourselves, our personal reputation, our personal relationships, our personal hustle. And somewhere in there, we made an unconscious agreement. The agreement sounds like this: if I want something done right, if I want money, resources, access, I have to put myself on the line personally, because that's the only way people will trust me. That belief feels like strength. It feels like accountability, but it's a glitch in your operating system. So you've been running business software on a personal operating system. Your business needs to borrow so your brain reaches for the personal credit card. Your business needs a loan and your hand signs the personal guarantee before you even think twice. That's not discipline. discipline that's programming, old programming, and it doesn't update itself. I call this the borrower identity, and it's the thing keeping more established entrepreneurs stuck than any credit score I've ever seen. The borrower identity says debt is personal, risk is personal. If this fails, I fail. The business entity identity says my business is a separate legal and financial organism. It carries its own risk, it builds its own credit, and I am the architect, not the collateral. Here's the real diagnosis. Your business credit score might be an 80, but if your internal identity thermostat is still set to personal guarantee, you will find a way to keep yourself in that position. You'll believe the banker when he says you don't qualify. You'll hesitate on the trade line because it feels unfamiliar. You'll stay in the trap, not because the door is locked, but because you've never imagined yourself walking through it. This is the shift that changes everything. The credit tactics are the vehicle. This identity pivot is the engine. You can't separate them, not if you want this to actually work. All right, now here's the blueprint. 3 steps, not 10. 3, because if I give you 10, you'll do none. Step 1, establish your business credit identity. What to do? Register your business with Dun & Bradstreet and get your DUNS number. It's free, and it takes about 30 days to activate. Then open at least 3 to 5 vendor trade accounts in your business name only. Think net 30 accounts with suppliers, office products, shipping, business services. No personal guarantee required on these. Pay them early every time. The mechanism: every early payment reports to D&B and pushes your Paydex score up. It's like a credit building loop, but for your business entity, not for you personally. The system is tracking your EIN, not your SSN. The result: within 90 to 180 days, you can move from 0 business credit history to a Paydex score in the 70s, or maybe cross that magic 80. That's the foundation. That's when lenders start seeing your business as a real borrower, not a hobby. That alignment note is important. This step requires you to stop solving business problems with personal tools. Every time you open a vendor account in your business name, you're reinforcing the business entity identity. Small action, but a deep shift. Step 2, position your business for no PG qualification. What to do? Pull your business credit reports from all 3 bureaus: D&B, Experian Business, Equifax Business. Know what's on them. Then audit your revenue documentation, 12 months of bank statements, a clean profit and loss, and proof of 2+ years in operation under your EIN. The mechanism: lenders who offer no personal guarantee products are looking for a story. They want to see your business exist consistently, profitably, separately from you. Your bank statements, your business credit file, and your EIN history tell that exact story. Your personal FICO is barely in the conversation. The result: when you walk into a lender or apply online with this package assembled, you qualify for a completely different conversation. You're not a consumer asking for money. You're a business entity presenting a credit profile that repositions you at the table. The alignment note: preparation is the mindset statement. When you build this package before you need the money, you're operating from abundance, not desperation. That energy changes outcomes. Now, step 3, rewire the thermostat. What to do? The next time a banker slides a personal guarantee across the desk, pause. Ask one question: what would my business need to show to qualify without the personal guarantee? Then listen. If they can't answer or won't, find a lender who can. The mechanism: most borrowers never ask that question. The moment you do, you signal that you understand the system. That shift, the dynamic, will change immediately, and it trains your own brain to operate from a business entity identity instead of a borrower identity. The result: you'll start catching the reflex, the automatic reach for your personal card, your personal credit, and you'll have a choice in that very moment. That choice, made consistently, rewires the thermostat. Your default changes. The alignment note: your identity doesn't change in a seminar. It changes in the moment of decision. This is your moment right here. Here's what I need you to remember. When you leave this video, your business was never supposed to live on your name. It was designed to stand on its own, build its own credit, carry its own risk, and leave your personal assets, your home, your family security, your future off the table. That's not a loophole. That's how the system was designed to work for the people who were meant to know about it. Now you know. So here's what I want you from this right now moment to do. Drop a comment below. Tell me where you are in this. Are you still operating or still using a personal guarantee for everything? Have you started building your business credit profile, or are you somewhere in the middle trying to figure out the next move? Tell me, because I read every one of these, and your answer helps me figure out what to make next. And if you're not subscribed yet, do that now, because next week I'm going to break down some other things that are going to really help you move forward as it relates to this business. And it's critical important. Now, if you're watching this and you know it's time to stop building a business on your personal back, the CBL Wealth Blueprint is how we work on this together. Credit, business, life. All three layers, all aligned. The link to get the coaching call is in the description. That's the system, and it works when you do. Well, I'm Dwayne, the Success King. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Be blessed.